Hey everybody, it's Dan with Pain Free You. So last night we got a little dusting of snow and there's not even that much on the ground. But the cool part is it's all over the trees and the branches are super cool. So if you look up, each one of the branches all over the place is covered by a little dusting of snow. So it looks gorgeous back here in the woods. So today's topic is going to be, why is this taking so long? You know, and there's a lot of folks who are always expressing their frustrations with how long it's taken them to get better. I've been doing this for 2 months, 6 months, 10 years. Why aren't I better yet? And it's a common frustration. Boy, I'll tell you, for 13 years I had the same frustration. You know, I dove into this work deep. Read every Sarno book, every other book I could find on TMS, psychology, the mind-body connection. And 22 years ago, there weren't quite as many. I was participating in the tmshelp.com forum. It's still out there. It's not as active as it used to be, but, you know, I was super frustrated. How come I couldn't figure this out? How come I couldn't figure it out? Well, it took me a long time to kind of come to the conclusions that helped me finally end it. And that's why I talk about the mindset so much. It's critical. It's just as important in my mind as doing the emotional discovery and feeling your feelings and soothing yourself, right? Because if you don't get the mindset right, you're not going to be able to put your focus on what you want, which means you're constantly going to be focusing on the pain, which means you're going to constantly be keeping those neural connections wired. So, why is it taking so long? Or how come they got better and I didn't? There must be something wrong with me. I must be doing something wrong. Or I'm just going to be one of those people that never gets better. And I've talked to many of you, and I was that person. So what I will first say is don't lose hope. You know, please, please, please do not lose hope. You will get better. Hold on. You will get better for sure. And you just got to keep on keeping on. You got to get the mindset right. You've got to learn to shift your focus away from the symptoms, which you don't want, to the things that you do want. And I know that sounds awful dismissive and difficult and challenging, and how the heck am I supposed to do that when I can barely get off the floor or off the bed or off the couch? You know, I teach this stuff in every video. It's shifting the focus away from it. Why? Because we know that focusing on the pain or the symptoms does not help. It actually keeps them locked in. So you don't have a choice. So why do other people get better faster? Well, there's a lot of reasons. Everybody is different. So comparison to others is a surefire way to make you feel even worse about yourself. Because inevitably, you're not looking at the people who took 10 years and saying, look how much better off I am. You're basically looking at them and going, oh no, it's going to take me 10 years. Or you're going to look at the people who got better in a few months or a few years and say, what's wrong with me? They got better. I didn't. I must be different. My symptoms must not be TMS. So therefore, this isn't going to work for me. Catastrophization over and over and over again. And unfortunately, it's actually some of those beliefs and fears that may be what's keeping you stuck. It could be that you've been diving into the emotional work and doing a fantastic job at that, but you're still freaking yourself out about the symptoms, about your inability to do this work properly. And so therefore you've convinced yourself that this isn't going to work because you're not doing it right, or there's something wrong with you, or you're different and you'll be the one person who can't get better. Everybody is different. And so please don't compare yourself to Mary, Jane, Tom, Steve, or Tony. Compare yourself to yesterday. You, yesterday. Are you taking steps in the right direction? Are you learning a little bit more? Is your mindset getting a little bit more on target? Are you getting a little bit more open to feeling these emotions without freaking yourself out? And are you getting a little bit better at not catastrophizing so much and watching this movie in your head of your horrible future and instead staying a little bit more present? Are you getting a little bit better each day with that stuff, because that's progress whether your pain is still around or not. So when I say everybody's different, I literally mean everybody is different. There's 7.2 billion people on this planet, and no two are exactly alike. Everybody has had their own childhood experience, childhood traumas, lack of childhood traumas, teenage traumas, 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, 40-year-old traumas. Everybody's life experience is different. We've all come to different conclusions about emotions, about ourselves, what we believe about ourselves, what we believe about the world. Is the world a dangerous place, or is it a pretty good place that's fairly safe? These things matter. So if you have had a traumatic childhood and you believe that the entire world is unsafe and that your emotions are unsafe, you're probably going to take a little bit longer to get better than somebody who had a pretty decent childhood, but they just kind of developed some repression strategies because, well, I'm not an angry person, right? And so anger doesn't fit. And so, everybody's scenario is different. And if you're taking a little bit longer, just be kind to yourself and recognize, wow, maybe I did have a tougher childhood or a tougher upbringing. Maybe I came to some different conclusions about the safety of the world, about the safety of my emotions, than other people who may have gotten better a little bit quicker. And that's okay. Everybody's got their own journey. We've got this instant gratification society, which is partially why people will go into doctors and almost demand, fix me. I've got this thing going on. It's your job to fix me, right? And doctors don't always have an answer. And sometimes doctors are pressured by the patient to fix them. And, that's really part of why we've got this epidemic, because people they'll turn away from this mind-body stuff and they will turn to the doctor and say, fix me, damn it, and you're not doing it right. And if you want to really see the desperation, go into some of the other pain groups. No, don't do that. Never mind. But I've done it for you. These people are literally saying all they do is go onto these pain groups and complain over and over and over again about how the doctors are not succeeding and they're failing and they are not treating me with respect and they're telling me I'm making all this stuff up and I'm a drug addict and I'm just trying to get drugs. And look, it's this instant gratification, fix me now society that's created this need for us to get better quick. And so if you decide that, okay, maybe this mind-body stuff, this TMS stuff, as Dr. Sarno called it, this stress illness, as Dr. David Clark calls it, this mind-body syndrome, or psychophysiological pain disorder that they call it, the PPD Association. It's all the same stuff. But if you've decided that this is what's kind of going on for you, don't expect it to happen tomorrow. You may have had pain for a few weeks, a few months, a few years, or a few decades. How fast you get better doesn't matter. The key to remember is you are on the right track, and depending upon your history, you may have a little bit more work to do than somebody else. Or somebody else may be able to really buy into this TMS stuff and understand the emotional discovery importance, the importance of soothing, and the importance of focus and getting away from fearing and monitoring their symptoms all day. And if somebody can do that and get that and really get the mindset dialed in, they may get better faster than you. But that's okay. Just understand that if somebody gets better faster, it shouldn't be a matter of you turning around and saying, I'm never going to get better. I'm doing this wrong. I can't do it right. This is impossible. How about turning around and saying, wow, they got better in 2 months? I've been trying this for 2 years. What are they doing that I didn't do? What are they getting that I didn't get? And inevitably, what I hear a lot from people is that the mindset stuff, that's what made it click. And so many of these folks, when they finally realized that the less they cared about the pain, the better they felt. And when they truly didn't give a crap about the pain, that's when they got better. So why is it taking so long? Only you can answer that. And I am not here to say it's your fault. You're doing it wrong. That's not the point at all. The point is, if other people are getting better quicker, instead of sitting there jealous and angry that they got better and you didn't, how about you ask them, hey, what was the one thing that really made it click for you? What mindset shift or what process really made it click for you? And I can tell you, it wasn't that they read a different book. You've probably read enough books already. It's generally, are you allowing yourself to dive deep into the emotional discovery processes? Are you soothing yourself afterwards to really send the signal to your brain that you are okay? And are you then getting the mindset stuff right? Are you getting out of the, oh my God, freak out stage and into whatever, I don't care, indifference? Can you truly get there? If not, it's going to be harder for you and take you longer to get better, because as long as you're freaking out about the symptoms, I don't see it letting go very quickly. So I know these things sound really challenging, really difficult, and almost impossible to go from freaking out to indifference. But look, some people will say, hey, I've got CFS, MA, fibro, I can't even get out of bed, I've been housebound for many years, and I don't understand what they're going through. And you're right, my symptoms were not nearly that severe, but my back pain and sciatica was really damn severe a lot of times. And so I can't control the symptoms. You can't control the symptoms per se, but you can choose your reaction to them. And even if you are bedbound and housebound, what's going on up here thought-wise is still something that's within your control. And catastrophizing about how bad things are and how you'll never get out of bed is not going to help you get out of bed. Visualization, start to envision your nervous system calming down. Start to envision yourself being able to do a little bit more each day. I'm not telling somebody who's bedbound that tomorrow they're going to be able to get up and take a walk around the block, because that very well may create a setback and a flare-up of symptoms and floor you for the next 3 days. So I'm not suggesting that acting like we don't have any problems is the answer. But I am suggesting that where we put our mental energy and our thoughts and our focus and our fears really is a place you can start regardless of how severe your symptoms are. So, why are they getting better faster than me? They're a different person. They've had a different life experience. And they may be in a position where they can kind of grasp and accept and commit to this mindset stuff that I believe is as important as the emotional discovery. So knowledge, number one, pillar. Pillar number two is the assessment and thereby the acceptance that this is what's going on for you. Third pillar, process, emotional discovery, and that includes soothing and meditating or deep breathing or however you soothe yourself. Get outside and take a look at the amazing snow on the trees. Beautiful stuff. And I think it's getting blurry here because there's a little mist on the screen, or on the lens. And the fourth pillar is mindset, and there's a lot to that. So look, if you're always comparing yourself to others and thinking that you're not doing it right and what's wrong with me and I'll never get better, what we believe or what we expect is what's going to happen. If you say I'll never get better and you truly believe I'll never get better, your brain's going to ensure that that's the case, because that's the instructions you're given to the brain. And that's not me placing fault. I'm just trying to go, wake up, come on. You can change this stuff. And you will change this stuff. Sometimes it takes some of us longer than others to figure it out. It took me 13 years. I was able to see in these other, this TMS help.com and, read the stories in Sarno's books that say, knowledge is a cure, and this person read my book and got better, or I met with this person and 2 weeks later their pain was gone and never came back. And of course, I was just like you. I was saying, what the heck am I doing wrong? Maybe I won't be the one to get better. I must be doing something wrong. And so I get it. I understand the frustration. 13 years, literally. But what I'm sharing with you are things that really, truly did matter for me. And the more I share this stuff, the more feedback I'm getting from those of you out there that really this stuff matters to you guys too, and the people who are able to grasp it and adopt it and really embrace it are getting better much faster than they would if they kind of ignored all this stuff that I'm saying. I'm not saying I've got all the answers. There's a lot of brilliant people out there that are teaching this stuff. I'm just able to share what's worked for me and what I am seeing reflected back at me from this community as to what's working for them. And there have been plenty of people messaging me saying they've gotten better. They're doing things that they haven't done in years. So you can too. So instead of comparing yourself to others who are getting better faster, how about you take a pause and go, wow, that's cool. Huh, they got better faster than I am. Let me message them. Let me answer to a comment and say, what was the one thing that really made a difference? What worked for you? What really made it click? You know, learn from the people. Don't get mad at them. Don't get mad at yourself for failing to do something right. And no, you're not wasting your time. You're absolutely on the right track. And if it's not worked for you yet, ask yourself, what am I missing here? What am I being taught in these videos? What am I being taught by the other experts that I just haven't really grasped yet? And sometimes you will find that some of these little simple mistakes, like focusing on your pain all day long, is why it's not letting go, even though you're doing everything else right. If you're still focusing on your pain or your symptoms all day long, and I understand why you are, but if that's the case, that may be why it hasn't let go. Brain science still matters, whether you think it should or not. So you can either work with your brain or it'll work against you. So take all this stuff to heart. And if you're the one saying, why aren't I better yet? It's because you're so freaked out that you're not better yet. And the pain or the symptoms are too significant. You got to care less. Just do the work and go on with your life. And if me saying go on with your life triggers you because you don't have a life right now because the symptoms are so severe, I get it. I understand. Do what you can. I'm not picking on you. I'm not criticizing or judging that state of being. But I am encouraging you that as long as you are able to think, you can work your way out of this mess. So, love you guys and gals. Why is it taking so long? Hopefully this stuff that I just talked about shed some light on that question. And let me know what you think. Please comment below. Please share this video. If you're on YouTube, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and maybe click that notification bell so you get notified when the new videos post. They are daily at 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on both my Facebook page, Pain For You, and the YouTube channel. Sometimes it takes me to a little bit later in the morning to share that Facebook post onto my group. So if you're not seeing it on the group at 5 a.m., go look at the page. Anyway, we'll talk to you guys and gals soon, and love you. Bye.